Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you, November 11th, 2025. It is game day edition of Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress here on your Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great start. And the Cats Cards play tonight, just under 8 hours until tip-off 8 o'clock at the KFC Yum Center this evening. Stephen Peak, how are you? You feeling better?
Yeah, doing a lot better, just as I went to talk. Yeah, no, feeling a lot better. Doctors cleared me to be at the game today. So on the availability report, I'm fully available. Let's do this.
Good. It's a good day to be fully available. Will you be at the KFC Yum Center tonight?
Of course, I will be there. Excited, nervous, woke up today. Or not. It's just a fun regular season game that I've gotten accustomed to winning and want to continue that trend. I haven't experienced a Kentucky loss in this game, a game that I watched, because, again, I didn't see the game in 2020. So 2017 was the last time that I've seen Kentucky lose this game. So since I didn't see it, I'm not even counting it. And that 2013 game or 2012 game didn't happen either. So I've only seen one loss, according to NCAA records, against the Cards since 2008, right?
Producer Matt, you're probably wearing red. I didn't get to say hi to you this afternoon before the show. Peak and myself are wearing blue. I think we can all agree, regardless of how long it's been since you've seen your team win or lose in this game, it's dumb that we're playing it this early.
It's 100% dumb.
Everybody's on the same page. That is universal. Red and blue can agree. This game should not be played before the football game. I don't think it really should be played in the heat of football season. Shouldn't be played the second week of the season. Shouldn't be played the third game of the year. Anyway, you break it down. It is too early for Kentucky and Louisville to be playing. I'm pumped for the game, and I've been pumped all day, and it's been fun just driving around town, and you'll see folks wearing red. You'll see folks wearing blue. The car flags are out on top of the cars today. All that is fun. It feels a little forced. It just doesn't feel natural. When this game is in December and it's UK U of L game, you talk about it for the entirety of the week. This week just started. It's Tuesday. It's dumb to play it on a Tuesday, no less. I don't care if it was if it was the right time of the year. This game needs to get the respect that it deserves. 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, third game of the year is not it. That's a mistake. So while everybody, I think, is putting their best foot forward, it feels a little forced because what Peak said is true, that this doesn't impact either team's national championship hopes or aspirations whatsoever. And you could make a case, well, does the UK U of L game ever really do that? Well, when both teams have a month and a half, and I don't really love it when it's in December. It needs to be Super Bowl Sunday. It needs to be in February. Let it be when people are paying attention to college basketball, or at least where it can stand alone in the sports world, or somewhat alone. It's in December, you have a month and a half of, hey, we know what this guy's going to do, what this guy's going to do, and what this guy's going to do. You're a more complete team then than you certainly are on the third game of the year. So, producer Matt, I'm pumped for today. We're going to talk about it for 2 hours. You won't find a UK show that will talk more Cats versus Cards. You won't find a sports show in this market that'll talk more Cats and Cards over the next 2 hours to get you ready for this game. How you feeling, producer Matt?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really excited. Yesterday was really disappointing. I feel like the loss on Saturday really kind of deflated me, and I was like, gosh, now I got to get ready for this kind of game. But in the back of my mind, I knew that, once I woke up this morning, I wasn't even going to remember anything else. It was just this. It's just fine dining and breathing. It's just Louisville basketball, Kentucky basketball, and breathing this morning, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite days of the year, especially when the game is in Louisville. But if there was any way to just have it lose a bit of its luster, and we're live on the YouTube, shout out to the YouTube streamers, Appreciate any way you listen to Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. Stephen Peak, producer Matt Childers. I'm TJ Walker. Any way you break it down, it's too early in the year, but nothing we can do about it. Now it's game time. So we move past that. We get excited for it. One of my favorite days of the year. You think back to so many great UK U of L basketball games. Majority of them, 40 out of 57, have been won by the blue and white, which I appreciate. 40 out of 57. And especially recently, Stephen Peak.
70% winning percentage.
Especially dominant for UK. Although I guess any way you break it down, when you've won that many of the games, it's probably going to be dominant any chunk of history that you have it. However, Vegas, that's probably one of the bigger storylines, Stephen Peak. Vegas thinks that the Cards get one in their favor today. Started at 3.5, and I knew a bunch of UK fans that said, whoa, that seems like too many points. Me. I was one of the UK fans that did it. I went, whoa, that seems like too many points. Now, I, at least, in this instance, had enough discipline to say, I'm going to wait, because it may go up. It may go, Kentucky could end up being a 4-point dog or a 4.5-point dog.
What is it up to now?
In this instance, it did just that. It did go in U of L's direction. Peak, it has kept going in U of L's direction. Unless it has changed in the last 20 minutes, U of L, a 6.5-point favorite in the game. Fellas, what do we make of this?
Well, DraftKings has you can see the percentage of bets placed, and this was about an hour or so ago. 74% of the money line was bet on Kentucky. 77% of the spread bet on Kentucky. And then the total 57% was on the under. So that's what I don't understand is that now this is when the spread was 6.5. I guess that's when a lot of people waited to put their money. Oh, it's 6.5. Now I'll put money on Kentucky. So I'm guessing you said 20 minutes ago it has not gone down. So
even this morning, I saw that when I checked when I woke up because I was curious about it. That I guess it kind of went down a little bit. 78% of the money was on Kentucky this morning before the line even moved.
Wow, that is weird though, right? If all the money is being put on Kentucky, why is the spread going up? I mean, that was just on DraftKings, so that doesn't account for all of them. But
so what it's worth, that's not necessarily all of the money. What very well could have happened to move the line.
That's the percentage of bets placed.
That's percentage of bets placed. There is a chance. So what this tells you is that the shark money, that's on U of L. That there are some big money bets on U of L. And even though that you're getting a bunch of, Joe Blow's putting $20 on the Cats and I'm putting $50 on the Cats, you're getting some big, real gamblers that are saying, oh, U of L giving 3.5, giving 4.5, 5.5, and they're coming in heavy. Because that's the only other reason or rationale that makes any sense in this instance. And I will say that, like, Louisville 4.5, that was closer to the computer spreads. So when it got to that, I thought, all right, well, that's probably people just betting it closer to, they felt like they got a good number at 3.5, so they're trying to get closer to the computer number. But it going up to 6.5, I've had multiple people reach out to me asking, all right, is somebody out for UK? Is Jalen Lowe re-hurt his shoulder, or what's going on here? Because that's only an inside baseball type of line to move 3 points in just a matter of hours, which isn't totally untrue for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally see where Louisville's going to shoot a lot of threes tonight. I mean, they're going to shoot about 40 threes. If they shoot close to 50%, yeah, there's a possibility. And if Kentucky's not hitting, like we've seen the first, 3 halves so far of the regular season, there's definitely a possibility Louisville wins this game by 10 points. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but obviously it's a possibility. The way that Louisville shoots the three, the way they get out in transition, I mean, they get the rebound, they make one pass up the court, and the guy is shooting a three. And that's, honestly, it's weird when you go back and watch old school basketball, how many times teams would get a rebound, bring the ball up the court, run a set, because they didn't want to. We don't want to take rush threes. Terrible strategies being used, like just as recent as like 10 years ago. The best shot you're going to get a lot of times will be in transition. A three-pointer in transition, that might be the most open look you'll get.
An open shot, it's never a bad time for an open shot.
Exactly.
With one exception, and that's when a big who's always open at the perimeter just jacks it up 6 seconds into the shot clock. And it's like, you big dumb animal, you could get that at the end of the shot clock. You didn't need to go ahead and just do it right then and there. We could get that a little bit later. But an open shot's always a good shot if you're a good shooter.
Yeah, and Louisville's going to push the tempo. This is going to be an up and down game. I mean, last year it was a lot. This was a lot of fun to watch last season. I went back and watched that game last night, and it was just up and down. I mean, obviously it's fun watching Lamont Butler go 10 for 10 from the field. Was he 6 for 6 from three that game? And is that right?
He didn't miss a shot.
Yeah, a Christian Leitner stat line, and but there is a scenario, of course, where Louisville is hot tonight. They have one of their better shooting performances. I can see this more going like the Kansas exhibition. And I do have questions about Louisville's front court, and I got questions about their defense, but there's questions about Kentucky's offense. I really don't care about the spread in this game. I don't. This is a rivalry game. This is the biggest game of the season so far for both of these teams.
Are you sure this is bigger than the Valpo game?
Well, you hope that Kentucky's not overlooking Louisville.
I was gonna say, I like Jack Pilgrim's tweet. It cracked me up. What did he say? That
no, you don't want Kentucky overlooking Louisville to get to Eastern Illinois in the BBN United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism Championship.
This is a trap game for the BBN United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism. This one means nothing to your hopes of winning a BBN Championship United Tourism Championship presented by Tourism.
If anything,
it means nothing to that. That being said, what if you lose this or you win this and it gets in the way of your momentum for Friday night?
I was going to say, maybe you even want to lose so you can kind of have that wake-up game.
That's, I know my angle on the post-game show if we lose is, good. You know what? If this gets them redirected for Friday night so they can win a championship, that matters the most. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to break it down. That being said, I don't know of any injuries with UK. I don't know any behind-the-scenes scuttlebutt, people talking, so-and-so tweaked his ankle. And you remember when Isaiah Briscoe got injured in warm-ups before the UK-U of L game? We want to talk about UK's snake-bit Buzzard's luck injury history over the last 10 to 15 years. Isaiah Briscoe, before the UK U of L game, so this would have been 2015-2016 season, unless that game was on New Year's Day, but I don't think it was. I don't know. That may have been in the calendar year 2016, but odds are 2015. But the 2015-2016 season, Jamal Murray, Tyler Eulis, Damian Lee, Trey Lewis, they're coming to Rupp Arena, and one of U of L's better chances to steal a win at Rupp Arena because, remind you, they have not won at Rupp since, how long is it, Stephen Peak, 2008?
Yes. Yeah.
It was the 2007-2008 season. Yeah. Now, that one I'm pretty sure was in the calendar year 2008. That game, I think, was in January. That's the last time U of L has won at Rupp Arena. But in 15-16, they nearly did. Damian Lee had a shot at the buzzer to do just that. But in warm-ups, Isaiah Briscoe, I think he, tripped on a ball. I don't know exactly what he did. Stepped on it wrong, tweaked his ankle, and it was okay, just before the game, UK's best on-the-ball defender, he ain't going to go. And I was like, well, crap. Who's going to step on the baseline and give us a turnover now, huh? If Isaiah Briscoe can't play, what are we going to do there? But in all seriousness, I think Isaiah Briscoe was an underrated Kentucky player, and he was an elite defender. And, so hopefully nothing like that happens or nothing like that has happened. UK did stay the night in Louisville, which always cracks me up. Ticket prices are so expensive. Just drive the day of the game. It's only it's a 60-minute drive. No, but they did a shoot-around at the Yum Center last night. I actually love it. Get familiar. Maybe they stayed at the Omni. Got massages today, potentially. We've got a lot of fun partners down there. Maybe they hit up Nulu and went to 5-iron golf because I know where we'll be in a couple of days, producer Matt Childress.
Well, you all will be. I'll be at the studio, unfortunately.
Okay, well, just go along with the bit, buddy. Okay?
We're going to 5-iron.
Yeah. And you do a golf league there?
It ended, but yes.
I mean, just do the damn bit.
I'm sorry. You got to do your facts right. You got to fact check somebody.
I love that you're I love that you're so honest. Honesty matters in this business. No, but we will be there. That is on Thursday, correct?
13.
Oh. No, but actually, this is the time that you don't interrupt the bit. But then at the end, you're like, actually, I didn't want to interrupt you at that point, but it is tomorrow, so everybody's going to go the wrong day.
You're really just forcing my hand here.
No, but the 13th will be at 5 Iron Golf in Nulu. That kind of snuck up on me. It's like, that's in the middle of November. It's not going to be here for forever. Who cares? And it's like, oh, no, that's here now. We're at the middle of November, and the UK U of L basketball game is here. And luckily, Kentucky's got such a loaded out-of-conference schedule, but there would probably be some times in December where I'd be like, damn, I kind of missed this UK U of L basketball game to look forward to. But the Cats will get the Hoosiers. They get St. John's. They get plenty of other big matchups. But I do hate the game being tonight, but that being said, as I've said, nothing we can do about it except break it down and talk about it. Vegas seems to like U of L, even though all the small bets are coming in on the Cats. I'll try to explain why that is. And I've got no explanation. So there's your segment. There's your radio segment. I say this a lot in football, Peak.
Yeah.
Where, you'll be looking at a game. I think the Tennessee game was similar in that fold. The Texas game was similar in that fold, just from a this season standpoint, where I will have no reason to like UK's chances, but I'll see the line and I'll say, oh, well, there's a reason. Okay. I don't really feel good about it, but who cares what my dumb brain says? The people that actually have a little bit of a stake in this thing, they think it's going to be a close game. Sometimes that can be enough for me. We have the inverse for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like Kentucky's a better basketball team than Louisville. The backcourt is incredibly subjective. U of L's backcourt could have a better day and look better than Kentucky. Kentucky's backcourt could have a better day and look better than Louisville. I think Louisville's a little bit more predicated on hitting outside shots to look good, where Kentucky, I think that's a cherry on top sort of situation, although they can certainly look stinky if they don't hit any shots. But they're going to try to drive and penetrate, where U of L a little bit more outside. But they're both great. I can't say enough good things about either one. It's the best U of L backcourt that they've probably had in my lifetime. Siva and Russ Smith were elite, obviously, but the third option was either a Luke Hancock, and no disrespect to Luke Hancock, he was a good player, or a third option was a Kyle Kuric. They're not at the same level than what these teams have this year. So I'll at least say it's the deepest U of L backcourt in my lifetime, and it's a really, really good UK front court. Or a backcourt, excuse me. And I'd give the slight edge to UK just from an experience standpoint, but as I mentioned, it's subjective. The front court is not.
Yeah.
It's just not. Louisville's front court's incredibly green. Even if you're a huge Case and Pryor believer, he has played one basketball game in a calendar year, and that was against Nobody State on Friday or on Thursday. This is a little bit different tonight. And you could say, well, he's got plenty of experience, and he'll be fine. He just needs to shake off the rust, and he'll be ready to go. It's questionable. It's just questionable what Case and Pryor you're going to be getting. Ali Khalifa, he also has had a ton of time off. And Frou from Germany, this is totally new to him. So regardless of how you feel about the backcourt matchup, and even if you wanted to give U of L a slight edge, again, if they shoot better, they will have the slight edge. Front court, you just can't make that distinction, in my opinion. In which case you could say, all right, well, TJ, Malachi Moreno doesn't have any experience. That may just be a that may be like a trust me, bro situation on Malachi Moreno. And that's fair. All right, don't give him credit. He is a McDonald's All-American, but he is a freshman, and this is new to him as well. Brandon Garrison, maybe you're just not high on him. I'm not as high on him. But he's played in these games. He's been in this moment. He's guarded elite bigs, the best of the best. He went against the Florida front court that won a national championship last year. But the biggest kicker, the one thing that a Kentucky has that a U of L doesn't have, and this is just true, is a Mohamed Diabate, who is physical, who is mean, who is nasty, who will clean up the glass, who he has been in these spots, and he has guarded every which player in these. And I guess the Louisville equivalent to that is the Javon Hadley, who's I view a little bit more of a wing, where Mo D's a little bit more of a front court player, but both can go out on the wing a little bit, and Javon Hadley can mix it up and be a front court player all the same. And Hadley is a similar mold as, like, if you don't have Hadley mixing it up and getting down in the dirt, Louisville's chances of winning ain't great. The same, I think, will apply for Mo Diabate. He is the difference maker tonight, though, and he is going to have a big game. That's why I feel confident about UK. They have a major front court advantage.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky's going to dominate the glass. I think they're going to win the rebounding battle. However, the one thing, I just like Kentucky's matchup in this game, all across the board. But the one thing that is making me most nervous is Vegas is saying, hey, TJ, you're wrong. And actually, Louisville's going to win by a couple possessions for the first time in 17 years.
Vegas usually knows they're within the ballpark. They usually know what they're talking about. The money usually doesn't lie. But they were off by what?
Women lie and men lie, but numbers don't lie.
They were off by 34.5 points on Saturday versus Florida, so they're not always amazing. So, yeah, and I think you're right. Here's the other thing, too.
And by the way, U of L was favored, or it was close to a pick-em against Tennessee last year in an early season SEC, ACC game for Pat Kelsey. They got blown 22. Out. Ole Miss, they were
20-something points.
Early favorites or right near a pick-em. They got blown out. Pat Kelsey also, that was another aspect. I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah.
There's a history that favors UK in this game, let alone from it just being red versus blue.
Oh, you're going with this.
But from just Pat Kelsey early in the year last year was cheeks. Whereas Mark Pope early in the year last year, he was able to put together a team a little bit better. And that's not an easy trait for everybody. We got used to it as UK fans with Calipari, but we even saw some of the process of the meat making. It wasn't always the prettiest thing in the world. It took some time. I think this could be a situation where it's going to take a little time for Pat Kelsey and these guards to all click with one another. However, Vegas thinks U of L, and right now by 6.5.
Yeah, and well, you make a good point, TJ. Pat Kelsey really settled in once he got to that ACC schedule, but when he played anybody with a pulse, kind of got it handed to him a little bit, including that tournament game against the Creighton Blue Jays last year, where they lost by 14 in a home game.
Well, they were seated the wrong spot.
Well, yeah.
Had they been seated the right spot, they wouldn't have been blown out by a lower seed.
No. You're right. They got screwed over big time but you know what? They had 7 losses going into that. Who did they lose to in the ACC last year?
They lost to
Duke.
And one other, I think, just kind of like one random bad loss.
I might pull that up. I'm just
Any
curious.
idea, Producer Matt, off the top of your head?
What was the question one more time?
Who did U of L lose to in the ACC last year?
Georgia Tech.
Duke and Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
So they lost to Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Duke. So anybody that was competent, they lost to. And I'll say this. This is the most anticipated Louisville. That's true.
Clemson beat Kentucky.
That they did.
Therefore, by comparison,
Louisville was better than UK last year.
Actually beat Kentucky because they beat the team who beat Kentucky.
Tough to argue with that. That Ian Schaeffler guy had 39 rebounds in that UK Clemson game, all by himself.
Wow.
This is a record. It seemed that way. It certainly seemed that way. You'll get to see that guy up close and personal because he switched sports. He's a football player
Makes
for Clemson
sense.
now. So you'll get to see Producer Matt on Friday night when the Cards host Clemson.
That was a weird night.
I'll be booing him left and right.
That was a weird night for me in South Carolina. Not going to lie. Just weird vibes in that game all around. But
you were there for that?
Yeah. Jack and I were there.
What was that basketball arena like?
It was very strange. The students were there like 2 hours before tip-off. The place was full. And of course, you ask, you all do this very often? No. I've been here for 4 years. I've never had to wait in line.
Y'all come here often?
Yeah.
Didn't even know we had an arena.
Oh, we got a basketball team? We're playing Kentucky. We should go to that. What is the thing about everybody's Super Bowl?
Yes.
That's right. And I'm not saying that tonight is Louisville Super Bowl, but it kind of is. I mean, I'm not saying they won't play bigger games later on.
And this take always gets U of L fans real riled up.
It is.
I'm sure producer Matt on the other side is like, you all want this game too. Stop saying it. It means more than us.
Hand up. I want to win this game. This isn't my Super Bowl for this year, but I would be lying if I said I didn't wake up today going like, man, this just feels like something big is happening. Something important is happening tonight. It is a massive game as a Kentucky fan, especially if you live in Jefferson County, especially if you live here and you have Louisville friends and family and coworkers and or classmates, whatever it is. If you got Louisville people in your life, you do not want Kentucky losing this game. It's not Super Bowl, but it's close. Now, when the game is over and everybody moves on, Kentucky's going to play way more meaningful games down the road. But the thing about this game happening right now is that this is the biggest game of the season up to this point. That hasn't been the case, TJ, in a very long time. I don't think that Louisville fans have anticipated a season like this in over a decade. I mean, seriously, I think that's right. This is as hyped as they have been about basketball in over a decade. It's the most I've seen them on social media. I literally thought like the Louisville fan base was just gone. I thought it just disappeared. You didn't see them on Twitter. You didn't see them on Facebook or wherever they typically post and run their mouth. You didn't see it for like 8 years. They just disappeared. And now they're coming back out of the woodwork, and I love it. I'm welcoming them back. Welcome back to college basketball, Louisville. We've missed you. We love this rivalry. I'm glad that you all are back, and I'm glad that you all care again, because when we beat your ass in the last 4 or 5 years, you didn't even say anything because you all weren't even watching. Kentucky fans had to go fill up your arena 2 years ago because you all didn't want to go to your games. Bunch of fair weather loser fans. And you know what? I can't wait to beat them again tonight because now they care. And if Kentucky loses, I got to eat it. That's what a rivalry is. I'm not going to tuck my tail and walk away and say, I don't care. Just another game. No, this is a big game. It is a huge game. I thought about it last night as I was going to bed. I'm like, I wonder if these players even know. I wonder, because the Louisville players know. I talked about it yesterday. If you're a Louisville player and you obviously live in the city, you might notice there's a lot of Kentucky stuff everywhere. It's in the local media. It's on the radio, online. This whole state is consumed with Kentucky basketball, even in Louisville. So you have to hear about it all the time. And I'm sure as a Louisville player, it would drive me crazy. So I would want to beat Kentucky so bad. And the Kentucky players, they don't get that experience in Lexington. So as I was like getting ready to go to bed, I was even asking my wife, I was like, I wonder if the Kentucky players know how big this is going to be tomorrow and how hostile that environment is going to be.
I mean, you raise a good point. That's another area that I think, U of L has a slight advantage in, that they just have more guys coming back who've played in this game last year.
I think it's honestly though, I've said it's a disadvantage because I think they put so much emphasis on beating Kentucky, and maybe it was a Rick thing, producer Matt. Maybe it was just that Rick Pitino did not want to lose to Kentucky, and he put that extra pressure on his guys. And where Cal, who also really wanted to win that game, especially when Rick was there, I guess he just had his freshmen who didn't really know what this was. They played more loose. They just it's another big game.
And secondly, let's see. U of L is returning 51 minutes from the game last year. Kentucky returning 50 minutes. So, Brandon Garrison and Otega Owe were both players in the game last year, and that's pretty much it. And then Roos and Hadley were players in the game for U of L last year, and that's pretty much it. So, right, can we call that just a wash in terms of returning experience to this game?
Well, I mean, I'm talking, I guess you could say that, but, you got Cason Pryor back as well, who, didn't play in the game. But Stephen Peake's talking about the players caring about the game.
Trent Noah's back. He cared in the game. I mean, Malachi Moreno and Jasper Johnson are Kentuckians. They obviously know what this game is. They've played in it as much as Cason Pryor has.
But they haven't played in college basketball as much as Cason Pryor has.
No, they haven't.
And
in which case, Kentucky's also got a ton of dudes that have played a lot of college basketball as well. I'm asking for a wash, producer Matt. Can we get a wash on that?
That's fine. I'll give you that.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was just going to say,
I'm not letting producer Matt win anything today. You ain't winning stick today, pal. My Green Bay Packers looked absolutely horrible. They keep losing these close games at home, and I'm just in a bad mood. So I'm going to take it out on the U of L fans in my life today. Miserable Monday Night Football watching experience. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Fired Matt LaFleur to the moon. I'm glad Green Bay fans are finally waking up, but I'm not glad because I hate that it's coming at a cost. I wanted last night to be a Green Bay win where everybody realized that, oh, yeah, TJ was right 5 years ago. Matt LaFleur is a stinking loser. But they're waking up to it now. He wasted prime Aaron Rodgers, and he's wasting a really, 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 really good Green Bay roster right now. I don't like, in a sports context, I do not like Matt LaFleur. I don't like him one bit, Sam I am. All right, sorry, got off in a Green Bay tangent. But needless to say, I'm not conceding anything today for UK U of L, all right? Nothing. Not a thing.
Was there a picture of Owe in street clothes at a practice in the Yum Center?
Uh-oh.
I'm on the board.
There's Daniel on the YouTube stream. He said, rumor mill saying Owe is out tonight.
I just got 6 messages from random people that aren't connected to each other saying, literally, Ortega Owe may not be playing tonight.
Could that explain the spread?
No, Jack Pilgrim just messaged me because I had to confirm with him. Breaking news? Is it breaking news? He said he's fine.
Okay. Well,
but that would have
been a good radio tease, Stephen Peak. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Jack Pilgrim messages Stephen Peak about Ortega Owe's availability for tonight UK U of L game, 8 o'clock on ESPN. We'll tell you what Jack Pilgrim's saying about Ortega Owe and UK's chances when we return here on Big X Sports Radio.
Now that's how you do a tease.
Something like that?
That was good. I like that.
Welcome back, Kentucky Roll Call. Game Day Battle for the Bluegrass Edition. Stephen Peak, producer Matt Childress, TJ Walker. What's something fun we can do in and out of breaks? Give me a random UK win against U of L in your mind. What comes to mind?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about co-hosting this thing.
You are.
Okay.
Yes.
The most intense game of this rivalry was the John Wall game. It was the first Cal versus Rick. In my lifetime, that's the most intense.
What's your memory of that game? Your personal memory of it. Where were you?
Okay, so I was coaching a sixth grade basketball team at the time, and I'm an assistant coach, but I am very much nervous about this Kentucky Louisville game. And Louisville wasn't even that good that year, but you're just like, we hadn't beaten them in 3 years. Which when we don't beat Louisville, we lose to Louisville 2 times in a row. We start going like, all right, we got to fire our coaches. We got to win this game again. At any rate, I'm getting messages while I'm sitting on the bench that are like DeMarcus Cousins about ready to be kicked out of this game. And I'm like, this is the worst thing. This is the nightmare. I'm trying to coach these kids, but I keep glancing at my phone. I'm keep getting messages. I end up going over to Buddy's house right after our game was over. Thank goodness for DeMarcus Cousins and Swapshire, because it delayed the game enough that I didn't have to miss. I got there.
That is huge.
By the end of the first half. And then I think Edgar Sosa hit a shot, and Louisville either tied it or took the lead. And I just was like, there's no way this Kentucky team is going to lose to this sorry Louisville team. That can't happen. And then Wall went for 6 straight points, and it didn't feel that good, really. Like if you remember, I think Kentucky jumped out to like a 15-2 lead. Like Louisville couldn't score. Kentucky's defense just completely shut them down. Now, of course, Rick Pitino, being the greatest college basketball coach to ever exist, did figure out how to get his guys some looks in the second half and allow them to claw their way back into that game.
27-19 at halftime.
I mean, that's Calipari to a T right there. Just defensive struggle. I think Patrick Patterson was the only guy to hit a 3 in the first half.
Right.
Razor Ramon Harris hit the 3 to put the game away.
Reginald Delk, Swapshire, DeMarcus Cousins, they all got technicals right off the jump, and then later in the game, Jerry Smith and John Wall got double technicals.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Doug Shows was quick to dish those out.
He loves
that one. Oh yeah, absolutely, the good old fashioned double.
What's your best? I mean, the Patrick Sparks game was also one of the core memories of my childhood.
Best is kind of hard. Really, you can just say you can pick a UK U of L game, and I'll have a memory of where I was or what I was doing for it. If you just say the year, really probably up until like Patino's first return trip to Rupp Arena. I remember where I was for that one, and then pretty much everyone after. Let's do that one that you'd mentioned, the Patrick Sparks game. That was the 2004-2005 season. I think that was in 2004. My grandmother, big U of L fan, she had good seats at Freedom Hall. She gave the tickets to my brother and I, although
You were there?
She'd say not to wear blue, but we'd wear blue.
You were at the game?
I was at the game.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
She'd say not to wear blue. Grandma June, we'd wear blue every single year. We miss you.
What was that arena like when they called the foul?
It was hilarious. I would have been 14 years old, I guess, at that point, or maybe 15 years old at that point, and U of L fans threw ice at me from the upper level. Yeah, ice. Rain
Did you
from
stand out that much?
Well, I mean, we were just 2 people in blue standing. We were cheering.
Were they adult Louisville fans?
I don't know. It was from the upper levels, so we don't know who it was.
Sounds about right.
They were they were furious because Patrick Sparks walked, and U of L, they had a huge lead at halftime.
32-16.
Was that what it was? Okay,
Yeah.
16-point lead. So we're making fun of U of L for only having 19 points in 2010. 5 years before that, 6 years before that, UK only had 16 points.
Cubby ball, baby.
It almost seemed lucky to have 16 points the way I remembered it at that game.
Yeah.
And my brother and I at halftime, we were like, so are we going to leave early? Will Grandma be mad if we do leave early? I don't want to watch UK get their cheeks clapped. And then it was just comeback city. And then Sparks gets fouled. That arena was just so chaotic. Louisville fans were so angry. They were just so angry. That was a good one. That one, those that you just don't really expect to win and you get to leave, those are probably the best in a rivalry. UK U of L, 2004, 2005. Patrick Sparks absolutely assaulted in the corner. Who was the player? It wasn't Ellis Miles.
It was like
Otis George. Was it Otis George? Big old Otis George. Just absolutely was trying to take off poor Patrick Sparks' head. And then I was nervous when Sparks went to the free throw line. But Sparks was such a badass free throw shooter. You knew that they were going to be solid, but I still was a little nervous.
I wanted him to miss that last one, though. Louisville had no timeouts. He makes it. And
yes.
I think Larry O'Bannon got a shot from inside of half court.
Good memory. All right, Producer Matt, we got to throw one your way. Producer Matt is a U of L fan, so what you can throw one. You can give a positive U of L memory. You may have to go back to the 70s or something.
It's actually Shane Bohannon blowing the kiss to all the Kentucky fans on our national championship run.
That was a good one. UK, I think Kyle Wiltshire had a shot at the buzzer to potentially force overtime in that one. Louisville, their wins have all been, I think, by a single possession or within maybe 4 points. Since,
single possession, all three of them.
All three of them
have been by 3 points, so 9 points in their 3 wins.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But if they cover the spread today, obviously they'll be bucking that trend. We'll give more fun moments and memories and UK U of L history. We'd love to hear yours on the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. U of L fans, if you need more testosterone, whatever, sexual performance therapy, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's for Kentucky fans as well. It's for everybody if you're feeling a little sluggish. They'll get you feeling right. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. There is no joke in wanting to feel better and get a healthier lifestyle. And Game Day Men's Health is trying to nudge you in the right directions. Go the other way this holiday season. It's the holidays. I'm going to eat bad, and who cares? I'll get it together in the new year. Right now, let people around the holidays say, you've been eating a little bit better? Your peptides look like they're up. Game Day Men's Health. They'll get you feeling good, feeling right. We did tease the Otega-Oweh rumors, but Stephen Peak says, fear not.
Jack Pilgrim said, fear not.
Stephen Peak via Jack Pilgrim says to fear not. Who did he get that from? We can via one more.
Straight from Otega-Oweh. I don't always get to know. Yeah, I don't always get to know who Jack's sources are, but the sources are saying that Otega-Oweh.
That's the name of it.
That's the name of his show.
I love it.
Yeah. He said there was just a picture of Otega-Oweh in sweats at the Yum Center. He's fine. So I messaged him back. Thank you, Jack Pilgrim, saving my mentals this afternoon. I mentioned that game in 2009 as being my favorite. That's my most rewatchable Louisville game, but that's regular season. Obviously, we forgot the 2012 and 2014 tournament games were two of the best in the series. TJ, how did you feel that week of the Final Four when Kentucky was getting ready to play Louisville, a Kentucky team that was destined to win a national title, and you have to go through your arch rival? And if there was one team you just could not have spoil it for you, it was the Louisville Cardinals. I know I was sick that whole week. How did you feel?
I had a similar take that a lot of Kentucky fans had, but I have a slightly different twist on it. It crossed my mind, too, that, we all knew Kentucky was going to win the championship that year. I don't know when it clicked for a lot of people. I went to the Champions Classic game when they beat Kansas in Madison Square Garden, and it was Anthony Davis's kind of welcome to the world moment. I knew then, all right, we went to the Final Four last year. We're returning some of those pieces, and now we may have the best player in college basketball. If we don't win a title this year, I may never see it in my life as a Kentucky fan. So I had most of that season with the idea of, hey, Kentucky should win the championship. And then when they enter the tournament with only 2 losses, it's like it's our title to lose.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous about the game. Truly, I wasn't. But it did cross my mind, as it did so many other UK fans, that, oh, no, what if?
Yeah.
What if they take our title year away from us? So not only would we not be winning a title, which, am I ever going to get to see one in my lifetime, but our biggest rivals, the one who ended it, and not only did they end it, they probably would have won it.
I think so, too.
I think they probably would have beaten Kansas.
I do, too.
And Ohio State kind of blew that game again. I think U of L against Ohio State or Kansas would have had a great chance to win the title. So that was crossing my mind through the week. Is I feel good about it. I like the matchup. I think we're a better team than they are. But
Rick
will I
Pitino's
be
on that
able
sideline,
to
though.
live if it doesn't happen? What will happen to my life if I don't happen? And the funny thing is I grew up, I've got a group of UK friends that some of them are my best friends, and I love them, and they're great. I've got a group of U of L friends, and there's mingling in between these two. It's not just like strictly one red and one blue group of friends. There's mingling amongst them. But one group of friends is probably predominantly more U of L, and I've got another group of friends that's probably a little bit predominantly more UK. And the funny thing is I've probably been lifelong friends with the U of L group a little bit longer, the UK one a little bit more high school, college friends. The U of L friend group, none of us talked that week. Yeah. And that was weird, just to have the group message just be as inactive as it was. And then, I kid you not, I ran into them down on Bourbon Street. I was like, dude, I didn't know genuinely that you all were coming down here. And they were like, yeah, we kind of made our own plans. You kind of made your own, you were doing your things with the UK friends. And it was funny how I actually ran into them. There's a group of people circled around somebody, and on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, that's just always good news. If there's somebody circling somebody in New Orleans, you're always just going to want to check out what's going on. Normally, it's in like a bead capacity, if you catch the drift sort of deal. So that's what you get most of the time, which, of course, you're going to go check that out when you're a 20-year-old, 21-year-old in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. This one was not that, though. It was a guy who had just chugged a beer, and he was spitting it all back up. He was throwing up. And he was throwing up, I guess, just like with so much ferocity that a crowd had formed around him. And it was my buddy. It was my buddy Tanner.
Oh, good for him.
And I was like, Tanner, what are you doing down here? What's up? And he was like, hey, TJ, how are you? I was like, oh, this is so fun. I was like just running into random people. So I felt good about it. I was confident going into it. But, yes, in the back of my mind was like, oh, no, what if?
Yeah, and when Peyton Siva hit that three to tie the game, I went outside of the watch party I was at, got into my car, and just turned on Tom Leach for a second. I just had to be alone. I was like,
where was the watch party?
I was in Murray, Kentucky.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was just at somebody's house there, and we mostly Kentucky fans, and then a few neutrals. And I just was like, I got to get away from everybody for a minute. And I even turned down Leach. I sat in the car in silence, and I said, the game's happening. I can't pause life right now. The game's gonna go on, but I just for myself need to just like breathe. Just it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. They're gonna win. I turned it back up. Kid Gilchrist had like 2 straight dunks, I think, and Kentucky was up 4. And I was like, okay, all right, we're okay. But that was the most stressful week, and we talked about it I think last week. That's not how I felt in 2014 because I felt like Louisville was the better team. We would play the role of spoiler. Louisville was supposed to win. Louisville got up like 20-7 in that game and should have won. Why did Rick Pitino keep Luke Hancock on the floor with 2 fouls in the first half to pick up a third? But I have not felt the anticipation for this Kentucky-Louisville regular season game since, I'm going to go back to the 2014
Interesting.
2015 game. So we are talking a decade ago.
I would say that the 2019 game, I think that was Mac's first one. At least it was his first one at Rupp Arena.
Yes, that one was good too.
That regular season game had a lot of juice. And U of L was ranked in like the top 10. I think Kentucky was ranked in the top 10 or the top 20.
That was one of the best ones.
And honestly, that one had a bunch where Louisville felt like, all right, we're going to come into
overtime one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Louisville was third. I think Kentucky was like 15.
Yeah,
like
Louisville was in the top 5.
Oh, U of L was ranked
higher? They were really good that
sense.
year.
Yeah, so I would say you have to go back to that one in terms of regular season game where both teams went into it feeling like, hey, I think we're going to win.
Because in that game, I know they were down 10, like midway through the second half, and then Dwayne Sutton, like by himself, brought them back and tied the game up. And I was like, oh, wow, they're going to get this game in Rupp Arena right now. And then they somehow choked with like 40 seconds left on the clock when the game was tied.
They had it in the overtime, too.
I'm going to say something that Kentucky fans are probably going to be able to relate to, and producer Matt, you're going to find somewhat condescending. But we had a big watch party for that game. And normally I always go to UK U of L sporting events. But this one, whatever reason, I didn't go to it. But we had a watch party, UK U of L fans coming to the house. That is so much fun when you can kind of get friend groups together for this game. And we had like different gambling games, guess the score at halftime, guess the score at the end of the game, that sort of stuff. And I just never, this is like the luxury of of a Kentucky fan. It never crossed my mind that Kentucky may lose that game. At any point, when I was setting up for the party, when I was doing all these gambling games, I was like, I don't even feel like I have to watch the game because I feel so good about UK.
Yeah.
The game is at Rupp Arena, and it's the UK U of L game. We're not losing this one.
Out.
And then Louisville, even though they were ranked higher, they came to play, and it was like, oh no, this is kind of tight. And then it went to overtime, and even overtime, I think, was kind of competitive. I mean, it's overtime.
Yeah, it was tied with, I think, like 50-something seconds left.
I just remember the run-out dunk, though, to end it. Which,
Ashton Hagens.
A real hoot.
I have a fun story from that game, and I know we got to go to break here in just a minute, in a few minutes.
You got a few minutes.
Okay, so I was working for WHS 11 at the time. I was on my way to Charlotte for the Belk Bowl, which happened, I guess, a couple days later. And we went to Belk. That's where the Kentucky football players were at to do a shopping spree with their Belk money. And the game was wrapping up as we were in the mall, whatever. And Kentucky wins the game. My dad calls me, and I'm standing next to Cash Daniel. And so I just have Cash Daniel answer the phone. And it was so cool. Like, Cash was so cool about it. And he was like, hell yeah, Louisville, or we beat Louisville. L's down forever. And he's just on the phone, like, talking with my dad, who's just on cloud nine because Kentucky just pulled off another win versus Louisville. And that was, I'm running around with the camera, doing these interviews with the football team, like doing interviews and have Lynn Bowden mic'd up while I'm watching on my phone to see what the basketball team is going to do. Because, again, like, I mean, I remember, like, my hands were almost, like, shaking at the end of that game. Because I'm just hitting, the stream goes out. I'm hitting refresh over and over and over on Twitter and on the ESPN app to get the final that Kentucky pulled it out. And I think, too, that's one that Louisville just, like, they let slip. And there's just, that's where that pressure to beat Kentucky. Like, there have been, since 2009, there have been better Louisville teams or Louisville teams who were just as good and hosting at home. Or better, but on the road, that they, for whatever reason, Kentucky just found a way to win most of those games. And even when Louisville was significantly better, like 2012-13, Kentucky was right there to win that game too. There's only been one time since 2009 where I thought a good Kentucky team blew it. And that was 2016-17 with Monk and Fox. And still had a chance to. Monk took a three to tie that one and hits the front of the rim.
And that was the game after. Maybe Kentucky had one sandwich between there, but I'm pretty sure that was the game after the UNC game in Vegas. So Kentucky was coming off this emotional, historic win where Monk just went absolutely bananas. And then you had to just kind of snap your fingers, turn around, and say, like, all right, do it again against Louisville. I was really...
Right after
I actually thought Kentucky was going to lose to Louisville that year. One of my rare predictions of being right. I do think it's set up similar this year. I think, like, that is probably maybe one of the more comparable regular season games, maybe 18-19 potentially, where I could see Kentucky going in and losing, but I wouldn't have any major concerns big picture. Doesn't mean I don't want them to win. I certainly do. But if they don't, I don't think it's any sort of indication that this team can't go on to win it all. And I felt similar with De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk.
That game did cost Kentucky a 1 seed, though.
Probably did, along with some other ones, though. Not that one specifically. I love the 1 seed. You always bring it back to it. We're going to talk more Cats cards, break down the matchups, guard, power forward, coaching. We'll do it all, position by position. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio.
Peak.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. So it's the picture that UK tweeted out yesterday when they said Louisville, Kentucky, and it's just kind of the picture of their shoot around and stuff like that. People noticed that Owe was in street clothes. But I think it was literally just kind of a walk around, shoot around sort of deal. It wasn't really a practice. But if you see in the background, have you seen it? Stephen Peak?
I have not. Sorry, I was doing something else over here.
He's in the toboggan back there. Do you see him?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're screwed. Yeah, I mean, why was he doing that?
I don't know. But I think that's what people are reacting to. That's the evidence that's got everybody freaking out. And welcome back, hour number 2, Kentucky Roll Call, Big X Sports Radio. Stream it on the YouTube. Catch us there. TJ Walker, Stephen Peak, producer Matt Childers. Game day, battle for the Bluegrass, Cats versus Cards tonight. KFC Yum Center. Kentucky's won 36 straight games in this rivalry. Louisville has not beaten the Cats since 1927 in basketball. Hoping to end that trend tonight. And the line started to move, and people started to freak out about it. And is it because there's a picture of Otega Owe? He's in the background. Everybody else is wearing the blue pants. Otega Owe's wearing the white pants. Everybody else is wearing the Cats shirt. He could be wearing the Cats shirt. You can't really tell. But he is wearing a hat, a toboggan, and nobody else is wearing a cap. So that may be all UK fans need to freak out. Listen, we have freaked out with less, with littler. We have overreacted with less information, so don't you go judging us. But Stephen Peak, that's probably really what it is. Like this picture is probably what it was. And in which case, sorry, TJ, well then explain it for us. Why wouldn't he be in the blue pants? I have no idea why he wouldn't be wearing the blue pants. Why would he have a hat on? It was pretty cold in Louisville yesterday. It was very chilly.
Dude, I'm telling you, this weather makes no sense. It being this cold this early and Kentucky playing Louisville this early just feels off. But at least the weather matches the Kentucky-Louisville game. Usually played in late December.
That's true. Yeah, it really is feeling more seasonal in that regard, producer Matt.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say the same thing, that it almost when you wake up this morning and you walk out and see how cold it is, it almost makes you feel like it is time for this game, and then you look at your calendar, you're like, oh, this is still 3 months too early.
One texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line. We'd love to hear from you on this Game Day Taco Tuesday. Salsaritas, wildly addictive chips. LOL, Pete, congrats on not caring as much about your rivalry game. Weird flex.
Did I say that? I think I've only said I care about this game.
You said that it's U of L Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is. If it's not their Super Bowl, it is very close to it. You're going to tell me that if you're a Louisville fan, this game doesn't give you extra juice. It does for me. I'm saying that for Kentucky, though, for the rest of the state, the larger part of the Big Blue Nation outside of Jefferson County, it's not. For me, like I said, this is a massive game. So, yeah, what a stupid comment. I've only said for the first hour how much this game means to me. And, yeah, I care about it. It's a rivalry game. I don't want to lose to Louisville in anything, but especially this sport. I can stomach it in other things. But in basketball, I hate it. I hate that they lost in 1997. Kentucky went on and won the national title in 98. But losing that Louisville game, and I said, I don't know if I said this yesterday, but I put a video out on KSR YouTube where I said in 2016-17, as Kentucky accumulated wins, I was still like, but how the hell did we lose to Louisville? And now we're just helping out their RPI. We're still helping. We're just winning a bunch of games, helping Louisville's strength of schedule, getting them a better seed in the tournament. No, this game means a lot. And if you're a Kentucky fan living in Appalachia, yeah, you have no reason, you don't interact with Louisville fans. But I do. And, they're my friends and family, and I just don't want them to be that happy today.
I think two things can be true. And, I think what you said is pretty, I think you nailed it. I think you're pretty spot on about it. I hate this game means more to you versus this game means more to you discourse and arguing. I just think it's lazy, and I think it's annoying. And, like, does the game matter to you personally? Yes. Then why do you care if it matters more or less to the other person? I'm not saying you're doing that, Peak. I'm just speaking in generalities about it. I just think, like, Kentucky fans want to win this game, and if they don't, they'll be bummed. The exact same applies to U of L.
Can we put the whole, like, rivalry stuff aside for just 2 seconds and just everybody for one day of the year being this day just enjoy the fact that you have 2 top 15 programs playing basketball, and, like, who cares who wants it more? Who cares what this mean more, like you said, to this team? Like, the game is going to be exciting to watch. We all want to see it.
Yeah.
We all want to play in it. We all want to watch it. We all, like, both teams want to win. It like you said, TJ, it's just annoying when you're like, gosh, man, if I were, wearing a Louisville shirt, go out and be like, gosh, I really want to win this game. Someone's like, oh, of course.
Yeah, no,
of course you do.
Yeah, Matt, there's a lot of Kentucky fans, and let me just, I don't hate on my own people here, but, like, there's a lot of Kentucky fans who are taking that stance of, like, oh, this game means everything to you all, to us, it's just another big game.
I hate that.
Yeah, no,
I hate that.
And you know what they're gonna? If Louisville wins, we don't need to do the whole hang the banner thing. Like, no, if Louisville wins this game, that's gonna suck. We can't pretend that it doesn't suck.
All right, my boy Stephen Peak, let me stop you right there. The hang the banner stuff, sure. Handle the loss however you want to handle the loss. But where I'm going to tie it all back together to where we started here and what you were saying, like, there is truth that Louisville needs this one more than Kentucky does. Doesn't mean I want it any less than a U of L fan would want it, but we can also just look at it from a mile-high view, step away from it, and say, how many games in a row have you lost to your rival? Oh, my heavens, you need this one. That is true. Like, if Kentucky loses, I'm not going to be happy. Won't be happy at all. Hope to not have to do a losing post-game show or a losing radio show tomorrow. But if I do, I won't run from it. We'll be here at noon, and we'll be on at 6:80 right after the game ends tonight. But and I'm going to be bummed, and I'm going to want to win. But there is some truth that if Kentucky gets another one, you're going to say, if you're a U of L fan, we have a top 5 pick in Mikael Brown. We're at home. We're 6-point favorites. If we can't beat this team now, when are we ever going to beat them? And there will be truth to that statement.
Yeah.
Because you won't feel great about going to Rupp Arena next year and winning in a place that you haven't won in nearly 20 years. So then you think back like, okay, we'll get them in 2027, 2028. That's going to be the year that we strike the Cats. It's like if you default to that and you're a U of L fan, you're going to say, goodness gracious, we really are Charlie Brown kicking this damn football. And to that is a true point. That, like, Louisville as a program needs this more than Kentucky does just based on the series history as of late. But, yes, both fans want it. If you're a UK or U of L fan and you act like tonight doesn't really matter to you personally, you're looking in the mirror and you're lying to yourself. That's all you're doing.
Exactly. No, and I will say this, too, like, as far as Kentucky's season goes, if you lose tonight, I think it puts a little extra pressure on next Tuesday's game in Madison Square Garden, a place that, I mean, every time I go to Madison Square Garden to watch Kentucky play, they play terrible. And that's going to, I mean, you got to beat Tom Izzo and Michigan State, who just beat Arkansas. It puts a little added pressure on that. You have 6 good non-conference games. Better than most schedules, by the way, that Kentucky puts together.
Mark Pope in New York City against a Big Ten team, nothing to worry about.
As long as we don't have half the team getting engaged, we should be okay. But, yeah, I mean, like, you have 6 non-con games. So, like, if you go in, if you lose tonight, you better pull out a win against another top 20 team next Tuesday. If you lose that one, well, then you absolutely have to beat North Carolina on December 2nd. Then you got Gonzaga in Nashville, another top 20 team as of right now. We'll see where they are when it gets to that point.
Yeah. Out-of-conference wins are like Christmas presents. You can be greedy. Get a bunch of them. Get as many as you want.
You can't lose that many of them, though, and I think losing tonight puts a little bit added pressure. They're not going to go 0-6. They're not going to go 2-4 even.
I actually had that exact same take looking at the schedule where it's like, hey, at the end of the day, you want to beat your rival for many, many reasons. But if you don't, doesn't end your national championship hopes or anything like that. But you're right. Then that adds a little extra pressure to that Michigan State game. You don't get that one, a snowball effect can add to that. Where in reality, if this team is the team that we thought it was going to be, and that's the number 1 seed, and that is competing for a national championship in a Final Four, go ahead and take care of business in this one.
There used to be, you go back and look at Calipari's schedules in some of these years. Like, I'll go to 2022-23. They play Michigan State in the Champions Classic. They lose that one. Then they a few days later, they play at Gonzaga. They get blown out. They go to London and play Michigan. They win that one. But that team wasn't. Then they play UCLA in Madison Square Garden. They only played like 4 good out of conference teams. So you lose one, then you lose 2, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, now we have to win the next 2, and you only split them. The season was kind of not over, but it was. Now everything is tougher. Now you really have to have a good SEC run, and they really didn't, and that's why they ended up with a 6 seed that year. So I like the way Mark Pope has scheduled this because you're going to get several cracks at really good teams in the non-con. I mean, there were years Calipari would load up that schedule with just like, why are we even playing so many of these weak games? Like the 2017-18 schedule, they played Kansas November 14th. Do you know when they played another good like Power 5 team? December 23rd, and they lost it to UCLA. So they lost those 2 games against and then they played Louisville, who was had the interim head coach and David Padgett at the time. So you only played 2 good teams in the non-conference. Now Kentucky's playing 6, partially because of how they're seeding teams, and like these games are weighted differently. So now coaches are loading up their schedule a little bit better. So it's not as bad if you lose tonight. But it being the first big game, that's why I don't like it being the first big game. Kentucky fans, you know how we are, TJ. There's going to be the KS board will be a mess if Kentucky loses tonight.
Absolutely.
I mean, it'll be a mess. There will be complete meltdowns happening over there. And I agree. On every Louisville message board and Louisville call-in shows, if Louisville loses, they're going to say exactly what you were saying. Well, when are we going to start beating Kentucky again? I'm so sick of losing to Kentucky.
But the difference is, U of L fans, the sun will come up tomorrow and they'll instantly just go back to being like, hey, we're going to get your ass next year. Wait till PK cooks in the transfer portal. Mark Pope whiff. Mark Pope whiff. That's the thing about U of L fans. It doesn't matter how many spankings you give them. They keep coming right back and say, thank you, sir. May I have another? And then next year they come back barking. Thank you, sir. May I have another? And it just keeps going, rinse and repeat. Where if Kentucky, if they lost this year, and then, God forbid, Mark Pope lost at Rupp Arena to U of L next year, and it was 2 straight for U of L, you'd have UK fans absolutely losing their mind, being like, all right, Mark Pope's not the guy. He can't beat U of L.
That's what will happen.
And it's like, well, hold on. He's just 1-2 against them. That's not a good record, but it's not the end of the world. It's like, no, don't care. Don't care. You wouldn't have U of L. You wouldn't have UK fans, I think, that third year being like, U of L fans, you're in for a spanking. U of L UK fans would be like, all right, we better get you, or else we're going to be getting a new coach if you don't. All right, a couple stats according to, speaking of the win streaks. Tonight, this is from our buddy Big Blue Bud on Twitter, at Big Blue Bud. Kentucky's hunting for its 4th win against Louisville in a row. Meanwhile, Louisville's hunting for its 4th win against UK since Billy Gillispie was fired in 2009. This would be Kentucky's 15th win in that time period.
Nick Roush picked Louisville?
Everybody at KSR, I like that actually. Everybody at KSR picked UK except for Nick Roush.
He likes to do that.
I'm okay with that.
81-80 is what Roush has. Ooh, a heartbreaker. A lot of these scores are, I don't think any score except for Jack is more than, we have 5-point win from Jack and a 4-point win from Drew. This game could be, this is going to be a tight last 4 minutes.
Producer Matt, Kentucky has won 3 straight against U of L. They're looking for 4 straight, as I mentioned. When's the last time U of L won 4 straight against UK?
No idea.
A little Mean Girls quote, the limit does not exist. It's never happened. When's the last time U of L won 3 straight against UK?
No idea.
All right, that also has never happened. A little trick question. Okay, that also has never happened. U of L's never won 3 straight against Kentucky. Come on, producer Matt, you knew that. When's the last time U of L won 2 straight against UK, producer Matt?
Is it 04, 05, 06, 07?
08, 09?
It was
Or
08, 09.
07, 08.
The last time they won at Rupp Arena, they followed it up the following year with the Edgar Sosa.
Did he bank
Which,
that
by the
three in?
way, their PA guy would do that back in the day, going back to that little SNL clip. That
Oh,
we played
yeah.
one
Yeah.
time.
He did do that?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
but
remember-
they do it for Juan Palacios, too. Juan de la Palacios.
I used to hate it. Like you'd hear the Louisville game on TV, and you'd hear the PA announcer, who was really good. By the way. But I just, as a Kentucky fan, you just hated that noise. That 3 games.
Kentucky was the professional and the classy.
Basket by Hayes, assist to Hawkins.
Where you would be like, 3 by pay. You're like, what is going on? You weirdo.
DCE5.
09-08, the last time U of L had won 2 straight against the Caps.
Edgar Sosa's banked in 3 to break our hearts. Same day the Dolphins lost in the playoffs to the Ravens. I don't even know.
Thank you for Sunday, by the way, Pete.
Bad day.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, no problem.
You guys
Anything
did
we
the
can do.
Lord's work.
Anything we can do.
Things have, ever since Roush and Scoots have left roll call, things have gotten really wonky in the NFL. Now you all are winning, and my Packers just look totally lifeless. The Patriots and the Dolphins have better football weekends. But you know what? UK football's got my back, and they've always had my back. And I'm just a UK football guy. I get my jollies off with the Cats on Saturdays instead of the Packers on Sundays now, unfortunately. That's what Matt LaFleur has done to me. Wildcat's tongue texts in, and he's, can you shut that door, Stephen? They probably want us to shut that door, honestly.
Is there a fire?
I don't think there's a fire.
Smoke alarm's going off.
Just the takes. Just my radio takes.
There we go.
WT here, he says, I have a wager with a U of L burner account where the losing team has to rebrand their Twitter account to be the other team. What should I make his Twitter username when Kentucky wins? All right, I always love a good mayor's bet. It's like, mayors of towns. They'll be like, and we'll give you a bottle of our famous cranberry jam. It's like, oh, no, I don't want that. Do you have any? We'll just take cash. Do you have a cash alternative to that? By the way, I think the lottery is absolutely bonkers right now. I think one of them's about to cross $1 billion, which is always like, you need to probably play it when it crosses $1 billion.
I'm sure it'll end up winning somewhere where they need the tax money. Isn't that how it usually works out?
Usually how it works out, Stephen Peak. Oh, man, we'll have to have a good Weird Wednesday one of these days.
Do we still have to pay off the Yum Center? We still doing that? We might need it.
There you go. All right, Wildcat's Tongue on Twitter. You can find him at Wildcat's Tongue. He currently is WT Mo D enthusiast. So I guess if Kentucky loses tonight, a U of L fan will make him
Case and Pryor enthusiast.
Case and Pryor enthusiast. Oh, yeah, they'll definitely do Case and Pryor because he's like the loudest, most obnoxious. But when the Cats win, what should he make Pat Kelsey's Army make his Twitter account?
Cat Kelsey, I don't know. I'm trying to think of one right now. Let's. I'm gonna think on it. Do you have one on the top of your head? Because I think we can come up with some good ones.
Okay, let's
take the break and I'll come up with several.
All right, well let's read a couple more texts.
We had some reading suggestions for me.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Ram Dass. I think he's saying I'm a little worked up. I think is what he's saying. But he also said, but Peak, we can't win 100% of the games against them. We dominate them. We're good either way. We all want to win. Yeah, no, like, the thing is, and somebody texted me today, one of my good friends said, I know they're going to beat us again someday. I know it's going to happen. I'm just never going to be ready for it. And the longer that the longer Kentucky continues beating them, the more it's going to sting when they eventually do get us. I just don't want it to be tonight because I have high expectations for this team. I want to continue the good vibes and the momentum. I want to fly in. Well, we'll see if the flight is not delayed, but I want to get into Newark just being like, we're undefeated. We're undefeated. We've won the BBN United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism.
Yeah, let Friday be the celebration it deserves.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that going, okay, cool, we're going to beat EIU, and then the real game comes up. So, EIU. I didn't know that people outside of the OVC knew that one.
I just came up with it up right there. But
That's hilarious.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought he was just making a bit.
You sing, I did, but you sing. I didn't know it was a thing either. But you sing that song so much, you just can't help it. Unfortunately, yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I'm with you, Peak. 502-414-1450 Game Day Men's Health text line if you want to get in. That's another thing is the line makes me a little nervous just because I can feel good about the matchups as I want. We'll get into that here in the final segment, breaking down position by position and all that good stuff. I can feel good about it all I want, but Vegas doesn't. That instantly makes me a little nervous. And then there is water has to find its level to a certain degree, and water's never going to find its level in this rivalry where it's 50-50. But U of L is due, even in losing 70% of the games in this rivalry. They're due for one to go their way, unfortunately. I hope it's not tonight either, Peak. And I hope that they never win one again either. I hope I live a long life to be 100, maybe even longer. And I hope I look back and I'm like, yeah, wow, the last time U of L beat UK was during the pandemic. How about that? The Cats have won 90 straight games. Cats by 90.
He tells us of every 10 games these teams play, Louisville will win 3 of them. So they're due.
JQ on the bench is all we need as an excuse. They're so scared of him, we just having him in the building will spell a loss for the Cards. Oh, he's not even using JQ as an excuse. I added that part. He's just saying JQ being on the bench will be a fear. If U of L did have a great shot blocker, I would be more nervous about this game. And when I say nervous about the game, obviously Louisville can win. They're big favorites. But I'd probably pick U of L if they had a shot blocker. But Kentucky's game plan, I think, is just going to be go on and get inside, and I think they'll have more success than not inside.
Yeah, just get on inside and
be relentless.
Yeah, penetrate the lane, kick out.
Don't lube them up.
No.
I'm worried some of the Cards fans on Twitter seems like the most important game of all time to them, says one texter. Your thoughts, producer Matt?
I mean, it's the Louisville-Kentucky game. It's the most important game all year, every year. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I just appreciate Matt saying that. And I think it's the most important non-conference game of the season for Kentucky fans who live in Jefferson County or in surrounding counties who deal with Louisville fans on a daily basis. This is our biggest game of the non-conference. Again, there will be bigger games. I want to win the SEC this year, and this has no bearing on SEC standings. Louisville doesn't participate in the SEC tournament. Another thing I want to win. And if you lose this game, you can still win the NCAA championship. Kentucky's done it before.
Nope. Season's over for whichever team loses tonight. Sorry, hate to break it to you.
Has Louisville ever won the national championship while losing to Kentucky in the regular season?
Or without providing
what was the
1980 players?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
didn't they lose in 86?
Did Louisville lose in 86?
They won in 86. They won in 80 and 86.
Well, no, did they beat Kentucky though? I think is what he said.
Sorry.
I think they lost to Kentucky in 86. I could be wrong.
Well, the thing is, I've got it literally pulled up right in front of my big fat face.
They did. They lost 69-64. So both teams have been able to win national championships and still lose this rivalry game. But yeah, I mean, it matters so much tonight. It matters for the rest of the season. You just get to have that bragging rights you go into the next year. You get to go, we've only beaten us 3 times out of the last 19 games. Or Louisville gets to be like, we beat y'all last year. Pat Kelsey's rolling, and you guys aren't going to beat us again for a few more years. But like you said, there hasn't been a 3-game winning streak for Louisville in this series.
This is the thing for me. And Peak, we didn't talk about it on the show before, but you texted me and TJ about it maybe like a week or so ago, and you were talking about how you just can't stand when your team does something good and then the other team's fans are just like party poopers and just try and bring it down the whole time. Like, you can't just enjoy yourself.
Yes.
That is every single time I'm like, dude, I'm just excited for the game. Forget who wins. Like, this is an exciting day for basketball. And then all I hear is from every person is just, well, it obviously just means a lot more to you than it does. I'm like, okay, man. I've heard it 8,000 times. Like, can we just not have fun anymore? Like, we just can't be excited for it's cringe to be excited for basketball games now, guys. I can't do it.
No, I really get tired of that. Yeah, that it's lame to care.
You're definitely more excited. I can hear it in your voice. You're definitely more excited. No, I agree with that. And I actually like this one texter. It's a U of L fan, and appreciate you listening. I've listened to some U of L shows. It's just on the day of the game. I'm going to listen to Rutherford later today here, 2:30 to 5:30 on Big X Sports Radio. Coming from a U of L fan, they should make the account Jalen Lowe enthusiast based on the collective opinion about him. Yeah, I think that if you're going just based off this team, I think that's the angle to go to. Because U of L fans just act like Jalen Lowe is trash. I hope Lowe has a huge game tonight. U of L fans are borderline disrespectful about that dude.
I predicted this morning on just the Cats. I said that, every time a big team comes into the Yum Center, one person has just the greatest shooting night they've ever had and then does nothing ever again. I'm predicting that if Kentucky wins this game, it's because Cam Williams makes like 5 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, U of L fans always act like some podunk player from UK has a big game.
Yeah, what are you doing, Lamont Butler? How are you even supposed to win that game? Lamont Butler's our starting point guard.
I get your point. If Cam Williams goes out there and does have a big game, it will be like, geez, Louise, this dude hasn't been able to hit anything. Who hasn't been? Who has been some of the, like, Dominique Hawkins had a good game against U of L.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah, but Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was the number 2 pick in the draft.
Their argument is that, like, well, of course he hits all these shots against us. He's not even – he scores what? He took the 4th most amount of shots or something?
Well, why don't you just try winning some games, and then we can see if it's some, like, random player for you all winning. But you just never win, so we don't know if it goes both ways. But that's the issue. We don't have a good player play well enough to be able to beat you. Yeah, that is the issue. You just don't have enough good players.
I'm going to that 20. I'm going to see if there was somebody random that I just don't remember from that 2016, 17. I do forget. I keep forgetting.
I think Derek Willis had a big game maybe that year.
Well, I was seeing for Louisville, who was that there was like some random guy who went off that were like.
Oh, the one that they won?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just Quentin Snyder doing anything positive against those guys, I think, was just shocking
22
to begin with. Yeah, I mean, Quentin Snyder having 22 points against De'Aaron Fox.
Are you talking about Bam Adebayo's dad?
See, that's what I'm talking about. he had a good crossover, and U of L fans, I mean, they're not Christian Watford on the popcorn.
Earth.
He
had to actually put both hands on the floor.
It's not Christian Watford popcorn box level, but it's not too terribly far away from it. But, in rivalry games, sometimes players step up. Who's it going to be tonight?
Who's Carlik Jones?
Carlik Jones, he was good, actually.
Carlik Jones is really good.
Okay, he had 20 points.
He was the,
I mean, literally, when I tell you
the Olympics,
that season is just blocked out of my memory from both teams. Like, Louisville was 6-1 in that game, by the way. They had won 6 of the first 7 games of that season. I literally had no idea of that COVID season.
Huh. UK had not won that many
Terrence
games
Clark played in that game. I did not know this. He played 16 minutes, scored 0 points.
RIP.
Yeah.
502-414-1450, Game Day Men's Health text line. All right, now should we take our final break?
Yeah, why not?
Then come back. We'll get a couple more texts into the Game Day Men's Health text line, and then we'll make our predictions and break it down for you as we've been doing all day here on Kentucky Roll Call. It is game day. Cats versus Cards tonight, blue versus red. Matt Childress, Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, one final segment coming up next.
Now Swapshire. Now Cousins is there, and there it is right there. See, he gave him an elbow with the right elbow.
Yes, he did.
He took him down into the floor with a little extra chicken wing.
A little extra chicken wing on that play.
Everybody loves a little extra chicken wing. Welcome back. One final segment. Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress on your Tuesday Game Day edition. Cat first cards tonight, and we are talking all about it. Producer Matt, do you have the two videos I sent over to you?
Did you send them on
the old Google chat?
I am not seeing them. I'm on the Google chat right now. I'm refreshing it as we speak, just to make sure.
Look on the chat. Go down a little bit. Probably on a different space or a different thread.
Oh, okay. I see him. Okay, yeah.
Okay. This is Kentucky Roll Call. But every team's getting their hype videos ready to go, and just trying to get that over. And I think he's got it.
I got the first one you sent over.
And you've got the Kentucky, and you've got the Louisville one. I'm gonna do a little curveball for you. Can you actually do the UK one first?
Yeah.
And I don't think these don't translate over to radio as well. And maybe do the UK one in like 1.25 speed or something. But here's UK's highlight hype video for the UK U of L game. I like looking forward to these things. Maybe you don't care, but here's what UK looked like.
If you had to describe Kentucky versus Louisville in one word, what would that word be?
I say chaos.
This is one of the left-team rivalries in all of college basketball.
The emotions of a huge rivalry of two teams that don't like each other, fan bases that don't like each other.
Emotions will be high, it'll be really intense.
This is a monster basketball game.
You know, we gotta represent. There is just kind of a different feeling in the gym. I feel like it was never a quiet moment. The gym was electric. We went in the hostile environment. We're trying to get a roadkill. It just means a lot.
We're fighting for PBN, we're fighting for Kentucky.
It's just a different level, especially when you're a part of it. It's something that every basketball player lives for, and you want to play in those type of moments.
You don't know how deep it runs.
All right, Colin Chandler, just so you know, I do know how deep it runs for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you, my guy, knows how deep it runs, but I hope that you do. And if you don't, you're going to get to figure it out tonight. Here was U of L's take on the rivalry hype content train.
They won't play.
They're afraid of you?
Well, what did you ask them that?
Well, we asked Coach Hall.
And he wouldn't give you an answer, would he?
Well, he tried to walk out in the interview, actually.
Yeah, well, that's typical.
After 24 years, Kentucky at Louisville, finally.
I mean, you talk about some of the great rivalries. You mentioned Carolina, Duke, Indiana, Purdue. Those are in-conference rivalries. This is by far the best out-of-conference rivalry in America.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
We want to see you guys getting after it.
And we will.
Earlier, and here they go again. Now a little pushing and shoving.
And there it is right there. See, he gave him an elbow with the right elbow.
Yes, it did. Little chicken wing on that one.
Go by Meyer. He does, and he lays it in.
The shot, 2.3.
Wagner wants to dunk.
The rivalry is back.
Says who?
Well, the only reason
the rivalry is back. You don't just get to say that, producer Matt. You actually have to do something to prove that the rivalry is back. You can't just say that it's back. I have a couple issues with U of L.
I'm concerned. We live in a free country, correct?
I have a couple issues.
We have
with
free
U of L.
press, correct?
I have a couple.
free speech,
Yeah.
correct?
You're
right now,
People
Matt.
are allowed to. I'm not saying that they need to be
time
jailed
being.
for saying stupid things, but I'm going to point it out when things are said that are inaccurate. Couple things that I didn't like about this video. There's Roman Kelly. He's coming on right after us today. One, you have Jeff Goodman in your video. That's instantly a bad hype video if you've got to resort to a Jeff Goodman quote. I'm sorry, that's just factual. Nobody gets excited for Jeff Goodman quotes. That's first and foremost. Secondly, you've got Swapshire getting elbowed in your own video? What are you doing? Why would you? That UK should have that in their video. Why would you want an embarrassing video of your own player getting punked? And by the way, they didn't throw DeMarcus Cousins out of the game for that, so Swapshire got to eat that and got nothing for it. And then, secondly, you can't say that the rivalry's back yet. If you win this year, put it in the highlight video for next year. Then you can say the rivalry's back. But I'm sorry, you've got to win one, and you just don't. You don't if you're U of L. So those are three things. Jeff Goodman out of any hype video. That's embarrassing. Get your own player getting embarrassed out of your own hype video. What are you thinking? And then the rivalry quote, it's back. While it sounds good, come on. Let's have some standards here.
The only reason they're having to say that is because Louisville has sucked so bad for like 8 years.
Are we really talking about what people are saying when you got Colin Chandler talking about how much this means?
I said it yourself. I disagreed with that part. I called it out. I called a spade a spade. I don't need Colin Chandler telling me how deep the rivalry goes. I know it damn well, Colin Chandler. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I'll call that part out too, Producer Matt.
But he's probably
at least it wasn't Jeff Goodman.
Mark Pope, it seems to do a lot of educating to his players on the history of Kentucky basketball. He lets them know how big this is.
Yeah.
So he's been educated on it. I'm sure he's had them watch some of the games, some highlights at least from some of the past games. It shows them this is how intense it gets. This is what it means to the fans, to try to let them in on it and let them know that this is awesome. You get to play in a game like this.
Is he also doing that in full UK uniform?
He should be. But yeah, the reason that we have to keep saying, I argued for years that this rivalry, while not as nationally big, was more intense than Duke, North Carolina, for a plethora of reasons. One, because you only get them one time, a year of bragging rights from one game, unless you meet in the tournament, which has happened twice in my lifetime. Then you have the fact that we don't have a pro team that we all get behind together. And as Kentucky and Louisville fans, there is nothing.
Oh, come on. The Louisville Kings are going to be great.
Oh, that's true. The Louisville Kings are in town.
Guys. Why are y'all hating on the Kings?
We can all get together on the Kings.
Blue and white, blue and red will come together.
I want everybody in their red and their blue tailgating in March ready to go for the Louisville Kings.
Of course.
And our horsey green.
Yeah, but there's
no horsing around this spring.
But there
got to pony up and get to the tailgate.
Are we doing the marketing for this USFL team? Sorry, Peak.
No.
Damn it, stop talking about the Louisville Kings.
No, we can make this last segment just about the Louisville Kings if we want to. There isn't anything that like really brings everybody together, like except for the Louisville Kings, I guess. And so there's just 365 days a year you hate the other side. I mean, they're your friends, they're your family. It's sports hate, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying it is the most intense out of any rivalry in college basketball for what this game means.
Yeah, I loved your video.
Yeah, and the only reason that I'm having to I'm struggling to make that point is because Louisville has just been so bad. The reason that they have to announce that the rivalry is back is because there hasn't nobody, even the year Louisville won, Kentucky, nobody cared. Everyone was checked out. So when Louisville was good under Pitino, I mean, when you went from Hall of Fame coach to Hall of Fame coach, I was saying Louisville is a top 15, maybe better all-time program. I don't know where they land in that now because it's been 10 years since they've really been any good. So, but I think it's coming back to that. And I really do think, as much as I hate on Louisville, they are, the reason that we talk about them so much is because historically they are a great program. Kentucky, North Carolina, those teams, they're in one category, but right below that is Louisville. Would you agree with that, TJ?
Obviously they have.
And not for the last 8 to 10 years.
They've got to get back there, but it's embarrassing they haven't. They've got plenty of money.
They kill my argument about this.
They've got all the facilities. They've just got to start doing the winning. Kenny Payne obviously was terrible, but it's not like they were covered in glory before him. And PK in his first year won as many tournament games as Payne did. But, yes, I do agree. It seems when you get this much talent, good things are going to happen. And Louisville is incredibly talented. They're great in the backcourt. It's going to be a really fun matchup. Point guard U, which that will be brought up in some capacity tonight. If Mikel Brown has a great game, U of L fans will be annoying about it, and rightfully so. And if Kentucky wins, then UK fans will be annoying about point guard U. Producer Matt, are you finished taking selfies over there?
No. Rowan's actually going to set up a few more. If you guys want to get in on one, you can.
Oh, that sounds nice. What is with you? What's with the picture of Gorgie Jang assaulting and borderline choking my boy Marcus Teague in the Final Four picture there?
Is there something against that?
Yeah, I hope they called a foul. Do you think they did?
Probably not.
Knowing how Rick Pitino would pay the officials, probably didn't. They probably let that one go, I would imagine.
Well, Rick Pitino, it depends on were the officials Communist Party or were they Socialist Party.
That's a good point. By the way, if you are in the YouTube TV, Disney, this is for you. Pay attention. If you've kind of dozed off and you've got the radio on in the background, time to lock in here for a second. If you're a YouTube TV customer and you still can't watch Disney products, ESPN, all that stuff, what I recommend, a Sling one-day pass for tonight. Maybe you should have gotten it for Monday Night Football last night. I think it's 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been so great to listen,
a great game.
Listen to Bob Iger talk about how you got to put money into Disney.
Such a doozy of a game. Green Bay. I'm sorry, everybody, that you all had to see Matt LaFleur's offense in prime time. So be it. I would recommend the Sling one-day pass, 24 hours. I've done it. It's $6. It's worth it. And you can stream that to your TV. If you've got a smart TV, you can download the Sling app. It can be just like your YouTube TV, just for one night, baby. Just for one night. I would recommend that. Also, an update. Unless I'm just making dumb, sarcastic jokes, I don't normally promote my Twitter. But I did send out the link. If you're a YouTube TV customer, you can get $20 off. I am team YouTube TV in this dispute with Disney. I hate Disney. I'll always hate Disney. I hate them. They're out. I've got them out. That being said, this was kind of slimy from YouTube TV. You will not get that credit unless you go click the link that I tweeted out. It doesn't have to be my link, obviously. But you have to go to your own account and apply for the credit. It's super easy. If you go to my link and you click it, it takes literally 5 seconds once you click the link. The issue is you may not know that link exists. So if you're a YouTube TV customer and you want a free $20, I don't know why you wouldn't, go ahead and click that link. If you just Google YouTube TV $20 credit, it'll pop up too, so if you're not on Twitter or something like that. But save your parents, save your grandparents, save your family $20. I had some goober say, well, and what I think is slimy is YouTube TV, just take it off people's accounts. The fact that you're making people have to know that the link exists, go to the link. Well, they sent an email. I had one goober, he was like, not a lot of people use ESPN. Why should other people that aren't using it, why should they have to know about the credit? Because you don't have to be a slime ball in business? Google? You're Google. You're YouTube. Just take the $20 credit off. And who cares if people don't watch ESPN? It's still a service that they're paying for. It has been impacted. Do the right thing, you dweebs. I'm still on your side on this, but it doesn't mean you have to be gross every step of the way like Disney.
This is just like when you watch like the two teams you hate the most in the world play each other from outside in. You're like, God, can they just both lose? Like, can a drone strike hit the arena or something? Like, what is going on? Like, why do I got to watch Disney and YouTube fight for who's worse right now?
Casual drone strike talk.
This is another reason, though, that this sucks that the game is being played on November 11th. Because you would think that I would hope that by December we will have figured this out. Why is it, TJ, that when the game is played in Rupp, the game is on a Saturday, but when it's played at the Yum Center now, it's played on a weekday?
Kentucky's got that more traditional prestige feel of the weekend game, and on U of L.
Is that because Louisville just doesn't want to play this game on a Saturday?
Red light district weeknight, just get it in, get it out sort of deal. I think that's probably more of what it is. I've noticed that as well. I don't know.
Yeah, it's because Louisville wants to schedule this game on a weeknight for some reason. I don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to use the brand of Kentucky to help sell your program. Wasn't there a Louisville player that gave a quote that was like, one of the reasons I came to Louisville was to play against Kentucky?
Yeah, was it Terrence Edwards last year?
Yeah. I mean,
he was like, the only reason
they're obviously using this to sell to recruits. We play Kentucky every year. They're the only constant non-conference opponent for the last 42 years, except for that year where they conveniently all got COVID to duck the smoke, where they were going to get their asses kicked again.
Okay, that's a stretch. That's a recruiting tool.
It is.
That's a stretch. In the
absolutely
world of NIL, if you think that Pat Kelsey's going, you guys can come here. We're going to play Kentucky this year. Congrats, guys. Let's get it together. Come on, guys. We're doing this year in and year out. Be ready for it.
I wouldn't say it if your own players didn't say it.
I think that's why Woolley committed.
He's getting ready to play the game. Come on.
Well, I'm not saying that.
You have to say stupid, embarrassing things.
That's
when you
the
get ready
same
to play
thing as you saying that Mark Pope has Colin Chandler ready for this game. Like, Pat Kelsey probably was like, hey, it's Big game. Get excited for it.
I'm sure that it is part of, I'm not saying it's why they go to Louisville 100%. I'm saying that it is part of the pitch. We have this huge rivalry game that you get to play in. And if you stay here for 4 years, you get to be a part of it for 4 years. And it's one of the most intense, if not the most intense in all of college basketball. I'm sure that it's used. We're beating Kentucky. That's something that is used on the recruiting trail. Absolutely it is. It's a huge game. I think that if you're a Louisville player, is this not like one of the games that you go, yeah, I'm freaking pumped.
Everybody's excited for this game.
Everybody's excited to play against
We're
Kentucky.
all excited for it. Left and the blue and the red. Everybody's all pumped for it. Let's talk some matchups. Let's break it down position by position real quick. Mikel Brown, Jalen Lowe, the point guard matchup. Producer Matt, break it down for me.
Mikel Brown's more athletic. I think he's a better passer. I think he finds his spots more efficiently. And, I've been on it all year. The biggest thing with Jalen Lowe is the dude's just a traffic cone on defense. And when you're going up against one of the best backcourts in the country, even if you have backup, which, Kentucky plays a lot of team defense and they run a lot of switch. If a dude like Jalen Lowe is getting beat by one too many times, you're going to have to start going to dudes like Colin Chandler picking up at top, and he's just not great defensively either.
All right, so the defense is the biggest issue for you with Jalen Lowe, and you're giving the advantage to Brown there. Yeah. Why would you give the advantage to Lowe, Peak? I'm not saying that you are, but why would there be a reason to say that UK's point guard actually has the advantage in this matchup?
I really like Jalen Lowe's ability to get his teammates open. I think we saw that in the limited amount of minutes that he got in that game versus Valpo. It's kind of hard to take a ton of takes away from that. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm a Mikel Brown fan, but I do like his game, and I think he's tough, man. Like that's going to be a good matchup. He's obviously a better shooter than what Jalen is. I'm just hoping that Jalen Lowe is able to facilitate the offense in a way that I think he's capable of tonight. Hopefully, still as he's still recovering from that injury. What do we got right now?
Just a little background music to get us ready for the game.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I'll say this.
Because like you said, if you lose this, there's no March Madness. You're done.
It's over. Season's over.
Yep.
November 11th. Really
might as well do the selection show tomorrow.
You don't make it to the 12th of
this is the national championship game right here, guys.
This is it. And who does it matter to the most?
Comes down to this.
It depends what side you're on. I'll say this. Jalen Lowe can absolutely outplay Mikel Brown tonight. As a matter of fact, I would go ahead and expect it, assuming Jalen Lowe's 100%. But what I will say, U of L fans, you better hope Jalen Lowe doesn't outplay Mikel Brown.
Yeah, they have to win that matchup.
You have to win this matchup. I can't imagine a scenario where Mikel Brown has a bad game, a terrible game, or just an okay game, but Jalen Lowe had a great game and Louisville still win. For U of L to win the game, Mikel Brown has to win the point guard matchup, in my opinion. And he is more talented, but is Jalen Lowe the better college player as of today, November 11th? I think that's going to end up being the truth when it's all said and done. As of today, Jalen Lowe, the better college player. All right, do you want to go? I imagine Isaac McNeely is the 2 for you all. I think he's probably going to get the starting position at that spot. Do we want to go Denzel Aberdeen? Denzel Aberdeen, Isaac McNeely. One's a national champion, one's a national champion. Go ahead and give me Aberdeen.
Oh, Aberdeen. I like his defensively. Because of that, I'm going to go with Aberdeen. And actually, I didn't say it. I give the edge to Mikel Brown in the Jalen Lowe matchup. But I'm going Denzel Aberdeen at the 2.
I'll give Denzel Aberdeen now.
Yeah, McNeely. If he hits 3-4 threes, then boom, he did all he needed to do.
He's a spot-up shooter.
He is. Yeah. Aberdeen's obviously going to do a lot more. Has to do a lot more. This is an instance where if McNeely totally dominates this matchup, probably means U of L's winning the game. All right, Ryan Conwell versus Otega Owe. Super underrated matchup. I'm a big Ryan Conwell fan. Obviously, like all the college basketball nerds are as well. There's a lot to like there. I actually think this one's closer to a push than UK fans would care to admit. Ryan Conwell's really, really good. I would still give the advantage to Otega Owe, but it would not surprise me if Conwell outplayed him tonight. Owe's just looked a little sluggish to start this year. Maybe it's the injury. Maybe he's just too cool for school, being SEC preseason player of the year. I'm not 100% sure. But Ortega, you can get outplayed in this matchup by Conwell, so he needs to bring his A game. Ortega needs to look better than he has at any other point this season, and he already does have a 15-point performance. But I think this one's more of a push than UK fans would care to admit.
I'm right there. I think it's really close. I'm going to lean Ryan Conwell. I feel like he's played more consistently, like more, with more versatility. I think that this is going to be a game where Ryan Conwell has the ability to get somebody like Ortega away in foul trouble early. But I also think that it could go the other way around. It depends on who gets hot first, who really cements himself in the game first. But I'm going to take Ryan Conwell on that one.
Yeah, this one's a toss-up. And it's something that I think
I thought my hot take was saying it was a toss-up, and now you all are agreeing with me. And producer Matt said he's actually taking U of L. This is the SEC preseason player of the year, folks. But you do agree that Conwell's good.
Well, no, and I do think that it's one of those deals where Kentucky is like individual talent. Ortega Owe is good. You know what he's going to give you tonight. He's going to score in double figures. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to make things difficult. I give the edge to Ortega Owe. But I think it's a slim edge. And but this is doing matchups like this. I think
it never really works this way. It's
right. Like the sum of parts for Kentucky is really what I look at. But yeah, and Louisville's a good team. They have good individual talent that will match up pretty well in these three positions.
Yeah. So then I'm taking. I don't even need to lump it down, and we're running out of time anyways. But I have a big advantage for UK in the front court.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm not even all that high on Brandon Garrison. And again, you don't know really totally what to expect out of Malachi Marino, But Peru, Roos, Pryor, Khalifa, they need to be ready to go. And I don't think you're going to get a ton of offense from those guys, and that's probably okay for U of L. You can get that from their back or from your backcourt. You just need them to defend and rebound. But they better be ready to bring it, because I think Kentucky has a size advantage, a physicality advantage. I just think they're the better team in that regard. Producer Matt, you can have a rebuttal, and then we need to make our predictions and get out of here.
I like Ruth's over Garrison. I think he's played better. I think he scores better. I think he's a little more athletic. I will say Malachi over Frew. Modi Abate hasn't fully sold me just yet.
Oh, you'll be sold tonight, big dog. All right, everybody enjoy the game. I've got the Cats winning. It's not going to surprise me if U of L does, but I'll take UK 84-79. It's lower scoring than people think.
79-73, Kentucky hit some free throws late.
You're really low
We're all close right there. I'm 85-79 Louisville.
All right, enjoy it. I can't wait to talk about it. Post-game show over on ESPN 680 immediately after the game ends, and then we'll be back here on a Wednesday edition of Kentucky Roll Call. At noon, Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt. Thanks for the text of the show. Go Cats, baby!